Every time someone told you that you couldn't, every disappointment, every setback, every time you tried and it didn't work. You're carrying all of it, and you're trying to become someone new while dragging this entire history behind you like chains. It doesn't work. You can't build a new identity on top of an old foundation. The old stories are too heavy. The old evidence is too convincing. The old memories are too vivid. The old version of you keeps pulling you back because you remember being them. You remember being shy, so becoming confident feels like climbing a mountain. You remember struggling with money, so becoming abundant feels impossible. You remember being rejected, so believing you're loved feels like a lie. The past is always there, whispering, but you're not really that person. Remember who you actually are. Remember what really happened. Remember how things really went. And you believe it, because you do remember. And the memories feel more real than the new identity you're trying to claim. So here's what you're going to do instead. Close your eyes right now. I'm serious. Close them. Now I want you to imagine that you just woke up. But something's different. You have no memory of who you were. Complete amnesia. You can't remember your past. All of it, every single memory that formed your identity. Gone, erased, disappeared. You're sitting here right now with a completely blank internal slate. No history, no story, no identity from the past, weighing you down or propping you up. No reference points, no evidence, no proof of who you've been. Just nothing. A clean, empty, open space where your identity used to be. And in this space, someone walks up to you. Maybe it's a doctor. Maybe it's a friend you don't remember. Maybe it's just a stranger, and they ask you the simplest question in the world. Who are you? And you realize you have no idea. You can't pull from your past because you don't have one. You can't reference your history because it's gone. You can't say, well, I've always been this way, because you don't remember always. You can't say, people have told me I'm like this, because you don't remember people or what they said. You have absolutely nothing to pull from except this present moment. Right here, right now, with complete freedom. So you get to decide, not based on evidence, not based on proof, not based on what happened before, but based purely on choice in this exact moment. Who are you? Stay with me here, because this is where it gets profound. When you have no memory, when you have no past, when you have no story, you realize something shocking. Identity is a choice. Not a fact, not a reality, a choice. Without your memories, you're not anything. You're pure potential, pure possibility, a blank canvas, an empty page. And whoever you decide to be in that moment, that's who you are. Not because you built it, not because you earned it, not because you have evidence, but because you chose it. Let me ask you again. You have complete memory loss. No past, no history, no story. And someone asks, who are you? Are you confident? Then you're confident. That's just who you are. You don't need to remember moments of confidence to be confident. You don't need proof. You don't need evidence. You just are. Are you wealthy? Then you're wealthy. You don't need to remember earning money. You don't need to trace the path from poor to rich. You don't need to justify it or explain it. You just are. Are you loved? Then you're loved. You don't need to remember people loving you. You don't need to reference past relationships. You don't need proof that anyone cares. You just are. Are you successful, powerful, peaceful, healthy, free, beautiful, worthy, enough? Then you are. Right now, in this moment, because you have no past telling you otherwise. You have no memories contradicting you. You have no story arguing against you. You just are. This is the power of complete forgetting. You're not building a new identity on top of the old one. You're wiping the slate completely clean and choosing who you are from absolute nothing. And the person you choose to be, that's real, that's true, that's you. Not because of what you've done or what's happened or what people have said, but because you decided. Here's what I need you to understand. That past, it only has power because you keep giving it power. It only defines you because you keep letting it define you. Every time you say, I'm not confident because I remember being shy, you're choosing your past over your present. Every time you say, I can't be wealthy because I've always struggled, you're letting old memories override your current choice. Every time you say, I'm not lovable because I remember being rejected, you're making the past more real than the now. But what if you stopped doing that? What if you treated your past like it happened to someone else? What if you looked at your memories the way you'd look at someone else's story, interesting but not relevant to who you are right now? Because here's the truth that will set you free. Your past doesn't determine your identity unless you let it. Your history doesn't define who you are unless you choose to let it define you. Your memories don't control your present unless you give them that control. You could right now in this moment forget all of it. Not literally erase the memories, but forget them in the sense of releasing their grip on your identity. Forget them in the sense of no longer letting them vote on who you are. You could decide that who you were yesterday, last week, last year, 10 years ago, that person is gone. That story is over. That version of you is finished. And right now you're someone completely different. Not because you slowly transformed, not because you worked hard to change, but because you simply forgot the old identity and chose a new one. Let me show you what you've been doing your whole life without realizing it. You wake up every morning, and before you even open your eyes fully, you remember who you are. You remember your name, you remember your life, you remember your struggles and your victories. You remember how you are, what you're like, what you can and can't do. And in remembering all of this, you step back into the identity you had yesterday. You put on the same personality like putting on the same clothes. You become the same person again. Then throughout your day, you reinforce this identity constantly. You think thoughts that match who you remember being. You make decisions based on who you've always been. You react to situations the way you've always reacted. You speak the way you've always spoken. And every time you do this, you strengthen the identity. You make it more solid, more real, more you. But here's what's wild. That identity, it's not you. It's a story, a collection of selected memories that you've decided to call me. You chose which experiences to remember, which to emphasize, which to let define you. You constructed this identity piece by piece, memory by memory, experience by experience, and now you're trapped in it. Because you keep remembering it. You keep referencing it. You keep going back to it. You want to be confident, but you keep remembering being shy. You want to be wealthy, but you keep remembering struggling. You want to be loved, but you keep remembering rejection. The new identity can't take hold because you won't let go of the old one. You're trying to be two people at once, and it's tearing you apart. So, here's what you're going to do instead. You're going to practice selective forgetting, strategic amnesia, deliberate memory loss. Every morning when you wake up, before you think about your day, before you step back into who you were yesterday, you're going to take a moment to forget. Close your eyes, take a breath, and imagine that overnight while you were sleeping, all your memories of who you've been just dissolved, evaporated, disappeared. You don't remember being insecure. Gone. You don't remember struggling. Erased. You don't remember being rejected. Vanished. You don't remember failing. Deleted. All the memories that formed your old identity, they're just not there anymore. Like they happened to someone else in another life, or like they never happened at all. And in this space of complete forgetfulness, you ask yourself, who am I? Not who was I? Not who have I been? Who am I right now in this moment, with no past to reference? And you choose freely, completely, with no guilt, no doubt, no contradiction. I am confident. Say it, feel it, know it. Not as something you're becoming, not as something you're trying to convince yourself of, but a simple truth. You are confident. That's just who you are. No story needed. I am wealthy. Say it, feel it, know it. You don't need to remember being wealthy. You don't need to trace the path. You just are, right now. Present tense, current reality. I am loved. Say it, feel it, know it. You don't need proof. You don't need evidence. You don't need anyone's validation. You just are. Whatever identity you desire, claim it. Not as future, not as hope, but as present fact. Because you've forgotten everything that said you weren't. Spend time just being this person. No history, no proof, no story, no justification. Pure identity, pure being, pure choice. Here's what makes this so powerful. When you truly forget who you were, you don't need proof of who you are. You just are. Think about it. Someone with real memory loss doesn't say, I think I might be confident, but let me check my past to see if there's evidence. They can't check their past. It's gone. So whatever they feel themselves to be in the present moment, that's what they are. No verification needed. This is the consciousness you're cultivating. You're not building an identity on past achievements. You're not waiting for evidence to confirm who you are. You're not looking for proof in your history. You're simply choosing who you are right now, and that choice is enough. Complete, total, final. No proof needed, no evidence required, no history necessary. Just pure present moment identity chosen from complete forgetfulness of everything that said you were anything else. And when you claim identity this way, from nothing, from emptiness, from pure choice, it's unshakable, because there's no past to contradict it. No memory to argue with it, no story to undermine it. You just are, and that's that. Now let me take you even deeper, because there's a level of forgetting that most people never reach, a level that completely transforms how you experience reality. You're not just forgetting who you were, you're forgetting that you ever needed to become anything. Most people approach identity change like this. I am this now, but I want to become that. They acknowledge their current state and then try to get to a new state. They see themselves on a journey from lack to fulfillment, from limitation to freedom, from unworthiness to worthiness. But when you forget completely, you realize there is no journey, there is no becoming, there is no gap between who you are and who you want to be. There's only choosing right now, in this moment, with complete amnesia about any state other than the one you're selecting. You don't remember ever being unconfident, so you're not becoming confident, you just are confident. You don't remember ever lacking, so you're not becoming abundant, you just are abundant. You don't remember ever being unloved, so you're not becoming loved, you just are loved. The entire concept of transformation dissolves when you forget, because transformation implies movement from one state to another. But if you have no memory of the first state, there's no movement, there's just being. This is the deepest level of forgetting. Forgetting not just your past identity, but forgetting that you were ever anything other than what you choose to be right now. And from this place of complete forgetfulness, identity becomes instantaneous. Not a process, not a journey, not a gradual shift. Instant, immediate. Now, here's a practice that will deepen this even further. Throughout your day-to-day, act as if you just arrived in your life, like you just woke up in this body, in this situation, with no memory of how you got here. You look around and you see your apartment, your job, your relationships, your bank account, your body, and you have no idea how any of it came to be. You don't remember the choices that led here. You don't remember the past that created this present. You're just here, now, with complete forgetfulness of the journey. And from this place of complete newness, you ask yourself, how do I want to respond to this situation as the person I am now? Not how have I always responded? Not what does my past say I should do, but who am I right now, and how does this version of me move through this moment? Someone at work treats you poorly. Normally you might remember past instances of this, might recall your history of being walked over, might respond from the identity of someone who accepts mistreatment. But you've forgotten. You don't remember being that person. So you respond as who you are now, confident, worthy, clear about your boundaries. Not because you worked up the courage, but because you forgot you were ever anything else. You check your bank account and see a number that would normally trigger lack consciousness, but you've forgotten scarcity. You don't remember struggling. So you look at the number with complete neutrality and choose, I am abundant. This number is irrelevant to who I am. You wake up alone and would normally feel the weight of loneliness, the memory of rejection, the story of being unwanted, but you've forgotten all of it. So you wake up as someone who is loved, who is wanted, who is chosen, regardless of who's physically in the bed. Every moment becomes a fresh start. Every interaction becomes a new choice. Every experience becomes an opportunity to forget and choose again. This practice, this constant forgetting and choosing, gives you something most people never experience in their entire lives: complete freedom from your past. You're not a prisoner of your history. You're not defined by your experiences. You're not limited by who you've been. You're not trapped in patterns that have repeated for years or decades. Every single moment you forget. Every single moment you choose fresh. Every single moment you are whoever you decide to be, with no reference to anything that came before. This is power. Real power. Not the power to control others or circumstances, but the power to choose your own identity independent of anything external. You're not at the mercy of your memories. You're not controlled by your past. You're not determined by your conditioning. You're free. Completely, totally, absolutely free. Free to be confident even though you were shy. Free to be abundant even though you struggled. Free to be loved even though you were rejected. Free to be powerful even though you were weak. Free to be successful even though you failed, because you forgot. And in forgetting you became unlimited. The limitations were just memories you kept reinforcing. The unworthiness was just a story you kept telling. The lack was just an identity you kept choosing. Now you're choosing differently, by forgetting completely and being fully. This is your power. This is your freedom. This is your truth. You're not becoming someone new. You're forgetting you were ever anyone old. And in that forgetting, you're discovering who you've always been, beneath all the stories, beneath all the memories, beneath all the conditioning. Pure consciousness, pure being, pure unlimited potential. Now go forget. And in forgetting, become everything you've always known you could be. The rest of your life starts now. And remember, you don't need to remember anything to be everything. In fact, the less you remember, the more you become. So forget completely, radically, constantly. And watch as your entire reality shifts to match the person you choose to be right now, in this moment, with no past to contradict you. This is who you are. This has always been who you are. You just forgot to forget. Now you know. Thank you, and good evening. As always, thank you for joining me on this journey into the depths of consciousness. Remember, you are not here by accident. You are here because your soul is ready for this truth. Take these teachings and let them transform not just your mind, but your entire reality. Until we meet again in consciousness, keep us